So we've had some problems. The actual live stream we were planning to do is not live. So I'm just going to try and share some. Watch live now. Hopefully you'll get some notifications.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, this is Narrowboating Nige.
Hi there.
Please give him a sub. He's a brilliant YouTuber, does a lot kind of around the network. You're a liveaboard, aren't you? So
I am, yeah.
You live on the network.
I do.
You explore a lot of restorations, including the
Chesterfield
as well recently.
The Chesterfield, yes.
Excellent. Right, so where are we, Nige?
Well, we're at Darnford Moors. More to the point, we're at the lift bridge and the development down here of the canal.
I'm going to turn you around so you can see. So this was done over a bit of time last year and the year before, and this was all filled. So this was this part here we're on now was the original canal, and what you've got behind us over here is the connection to the Coventry Canal at Huddersfield Junction, and across there is HS2, which is a lovely project, absolutely slowing this thing up. So this cannot be connected to the network despite it being full until HS2 is done and we can get a connection. Yeah, we're going to take a little walk up to Fossway Heath as long as signal allows it.
Of course, yeah.
We will have trouble at Fossway Heath, especially for mine, but Nige might be able to carry on if it allows him to carry on without me. So we might go a bit further. So this is the first thing. This is the lift bridge that was put in. This was donated from the Peak Forest Canal, I believe it was, and was installed a few years ago. And basically the canal channel on this side and here wasn't there, but the bridge was in and ready. So they then did all the bento mat and stuff and filled it, and this was actually where I came to for the first time on the canal. And it's looking great. The nature's really taking over now, isn't it?
It's fantastic. It's really taken over, and it's, as Steve said in previous videos, it's just gorgeous, and it's one of the reasons why we like coming down here.
Yeah. Everywhere you look at the moment, there's butterflies flying around and stuff, and just nature everywhere, isn't it? It's great.
And I said to Steve, I've been down here in the very early hours of the morning, and there's no background noise, and everything's just coming to life. And as the light falls across it, you just, I can't sometimes just can't put it into words.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely beautiful. And it's not just here at Darnford Moors. It's elsewhere, not just on the Lichfield Canal, but it's just across the whole canal network. And as Steve has rightly said, I've lived aboard now for 10 years, and it just gets under your skin. I can't articulate very well, but I just love the life. I love it more and more every year. I really do.
Yeah, yeah. And it's a peaceful life, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it is.
So we're going to walk along. We're going to show some sights on the way. There are going to be parts where we will just be rambling along talking. There's a very small section after this where you actually have to come off the canal. The lads are private between, and there's a road in the way as well. So we'll try and show you what we can as we're going along. So it's about 3.5 miles, isn't it?
Roughly,
yeah. So it's going to take us an hour to 2 hours, depending how fast we go between each section. So we're going to walk now towards the old lock up here. Now there were 30 locks on this canal, and this lock 30 is behind us. That's going to have to be restored when HS2 allow the land over, and lock 29 is just up ahead of us, and it's an abandoned lock now. There's going to be a new lock 29, but we're going to walk up to there now and we'll have a little look at that and see an actual lock in place, and you can see everything, all the walls and all sorts. It's brilliant. You need to let us know on your comments. Narrowboating Nige, you just commented.
I think that'll probably be my wife.
We're echoing. Sounds like two of you talking.
Right. That might be a problem. Thanks for letting us know.
We're trying something with the mic, so we've both got a mic on. The problem is, if we're not too close to each other.
I'll mute that.
Oh, how's that? You want to be able to hear Nige as well. So, Narrowboating Nige, can you please comment of how we're doing? As you can see, we're highly professional. This is the first time we've ever attempted this. We honestly don't know how this is going to go. We might get a mile or so down Nige, and it just completely cuts off. So the signal's good. I've got full 5G signal here, but I know as you go up it turns into 3G, and if anyone else is on O2, they know that there's no point in doing anything under full bar 4G or 5G because it just drops out all the time. So fingers crossed on that one. But anyway, back to the canal. The levels here, actually Nige just showed you that. I'll stick to my face at the moment. Down, what did we just work out? About half a metre, didn't we?
Roughly, yeah.
So it's fed here. There's a little pump in behind. You see that that fence there? There's a little pump in behind there, and that pumps the water up from the stream that comes underneath. There's a culvert underneath here, a siphon culvert underneath here, and that's how you fill this canal up, because at the moment it's not connected. The problem is if that stream is low, then there's no water. So they've got an abstraction license there, but if there's no water running through the stream, you're not going to get up. No echoing, coming through really good. So if Nigel speaks, Nige, say something.
Hello.
Does that work on mine as well?
Hello.
Can you hear if you're on my live stream?
Hello.
And vice versa. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Is that working on Nige's? Do you get different comments as well? I'm not sure how this works.
My wife's using my YouTube channel rather than her own YouTube channel.
Hi, Mrs. Nige. My wife definitely won't be watching. She has no interest in what I do at all. So
my wife lives abroad, so the thing about it was, I made a gesture to sell the house for one reason or another. The electrification program originally that I'm working on now was cancelled, it was paused.
Yeah.
And then they started the project up again, the government. Long story short, I came home and I said, I'm just so fed up of this, stop starting and travelling. And the house was like a ball and chain, you know, maintenance of the house, and because we had a beautiful garden.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just said to the wife, I said, let's just forget it, let's just sell the house and let's just get a boat and go on the canals. And my wife embraced it quicker than I did.
Yeah, happy days.
3 days the house was on the market.
That's what you need, isn't it? Both of you singing off the same hymn sheet as such and stuff. So, Narrowboating Nige, I'm going to ask you another question. Can you see mine and Nige's video? I think that should be how it works. So you should be side by side like we can see on our end. Because I just want to make sure we're doing that before we're both looking at different things and stuff. And
working okay on both of them.
Yeah, sounds good and clear. Who else is here then? Who else have we got here? I can see there's 16 people watching at the moment. Please feel free to comment. And if there's anything you want us to talk about, then please do say. So the idea of this is me and Nige both make videos on the canal. Nige makes loads. He's quite local, so he makes a lot more than me. So really worth a sub. We kind of just want to show the route, because we cover sections, but it doesn't really tell you, the viewer, exactly where you are along that canal route. So this is a good way to piece it all together. Like I said, this is the first bit I ever covered. Hi Rob. Can see you, but only Nigel's arm. Can you see me? There's a big fat man in the camera now. There's Nige.
That's me.
I think I need to, if I push my neck, because when I turn it around, sorry, we're going to be doing technical stuff as we go. So this is the winding hole here. I'll turn around mine just in case Nigel's arm is visible. This was originally the line of the canal, came through here and onto this section here. And what happened was, when this was all going through for the restoration, they couldn't take the route down here. So they actually got the route through here. And this was actually dug out years ago. But yeah, she's got both of us now. This was actually dug out years ago, but it wasn't lined and had to be redug and stuff. So this is what was finished last year. You had phase 1 up to just beyond the bridge there. This was phase 2, and phase 3 was the sort of next section. There's also like there's also electric points up there as well for boaters. So when it is open to the Coventry Canal, you can come up and charge up and plug in and whatnot. So yeah, that's the reason. So put its winding hole here. It can take about a 50-foot boat. But the plan is, as it goes up through, you'll be able to bring your normal 70-foot narrow boat through if you want to. Well, I say normal, not everybody has a 70-foot, but
no, typical length of a narrow boat for the system, really, the best one is 57-foot.
Yeah, 57-foot gets you on everywhere on the network, because is it Leeds and Liverpool? There's a restriction, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
660 odd foot you can go through on there. So if you're buying a boat, don't buy a wide beam, buy a 50 odd footer.
Yeah, definitely get far wide.
So
Don't get very far.
one thing they do quite well on the Lichfield is they advertise what they've got here. So this is an ecology part, this whole site. And down through here, there's some steps. Coming down, Nige, we've got a lock. So this is the old lock, no longer used. This is old lock 29. And this is a good way to see these things because you can see the thickness of the wall here. And you've got the bricks done like that. Headers and, what's it called? Headers and something, isn't it, when they do brickwork like that? It's old English bond. And they, headers and stringers, is that right? On brickwork, headers and stringers, isn't it, I think, when they do it? I'm probably wrong, please tell me if I do. Hi Martin, nice to have you along. And then what you've got here is the counterforts. So you can see these like bigger bits sticking out. That is what supports the lock. So that is normally tied in with like wood, or they'll have steel going through that, or occasionally bricked into the side of the lock. And this would normally be covered in mud here, and you wouldn't see it. So it's quite cool on here. I'm going to get stung here. I've worn shorts stupidly, but you can see that they go right round there and are quite wide. But what they've done here is, instead of just knocking this down and reusing the bricks, they've left it as a bit of like an educational feature, as well as being part of this little wooded area. It's like a copse here, which is a lovely little nature area. I'm not going to go through there because there's a barrier, and there's also sometimes a bit of rubbish in the bottom of there as well, which they do clear out, but the use of today.
And it seems that they've been doing a little bit of work on it as well. There's some bricks been
yeah, definitely on the end here.
Cut out here.
Yeah.
Some bricks in there. So,
yeah, because last time I came over, this was really overgrown. So I think that's what they're doing. Maybe if it's safe, they might put a walkway through. I don't know. It would be quite cool to walk through, wouldn't it?
I think that's probably the intention, although I've not read anything about it or spoken to anyone. But I think that would be the intention for it. Because if you say, because of its historical value and the fact that the counterforce walls are there and exposed.
Yeah.
They could really. Obviously, we've got the board up there that gives you a little bit of information on it, but it'd be really cool to see it all. You know, remove some of this vegetation, not all of it. Obviously, some of the detritus.
It's quite nice to have it as a wild, and obviously some of the vegetation will be host in nature, which they don't want to get rid of from here.
Of course not, because, and a lot of it will be holding some of it together.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. But you also don't want those roots to go so far that they destroy the brickwork on there as well. So there's a bit of both on there. So what you can do is you can walk around the top of this, and if it's still there, there should be some coping stones up there still. Yeah, there they are. Look. So this whole area is, like I said, a little nature area. And you've got like a little circular walk through here. This whole site actually is a circular walk. So you can walk up one side, the actual towpath side's on the other side to where we are now, just behind on that side there. Look, yeah, that's it, Nige. And then this side is all nature, but it goes all the way around, so you can do a complete loop. They've done that in a few places because your favourite spot's like that as well, isn't it? Gallows Wharf. Yeah. These are the coping stones. Nigel was just pointing out. Hang on, turn around. So these are some of the original copers that were on this lock, and they've been put around the side here because they'd been knocked in anyway. Got quite a good chain there. So that would have been for tying your boat on when you were going through the locks and stuff down there, which Nigel just showed. But yeah, so they put these as, so they're basically benches all the way around, so you can sit and chill out and stuff. Which way do you want to walk, Nige? Go at the top? Yes, we're going to walk to the top of the lock now. Yeah, then I don't think they're as visible on this side because you've got the mud up there, haven't you, on this side? Yeah, Rob, can you see comments on yours? You got comments at the bottom? Yeah, Rob. So Rob's referring to when I was filming with Paul Whitewick. We're on the Cotswold. That's right. Do you want me to keep an eye on the comments? I'll do comments. I was filming on the Cotswold Canal on Sapperton Tunnel with Paul and Rebecca Whitewick, and we were trying to find the shafts on the canal, on the tunnel, and as we were looking for them, we were just getting close to one, and I was walking across. Sorry, camera's going funny. I was walking across, and I stepped on a wasp nest, and they went all up my trouser legs. I can't remember how many times I got stung, like 30 odd times or something like that. And I ran past Rebecca screaming, arms flapping around everywhere. She's like, "What's up?" And we're just all these wasps chasing me down, trying to get me. So yeah, nettles are better than wasps. Nige is just going in now to the bump plate. You can see just below.
Yeah, they put this scaffold.
Yeah, that's new. That wasn't there before.
Yeah, and the sudden drop, which yeah.
So Nige, explain what you've got down there.
So basically, we've got quite a bit of detritus, to be fair. There is some of the old lock wall here, some of the ironworks. A lot of vegetation, as you can appreciate. It's the time of year. If it was earlier in the year, if we did the stream earlier in the year, we would have got in here. It would have been
it was over. Yeah,
fantastic. But this is all new as well. Looks like the trust have been down here doing. They've also reclaimed some bricks they've put down here. I think that's probably what they're doing. I think that's part of the exercise at the moment. I think they're probably just gathering up, because there's so many points of works on the Lichfield. That's the incredible thing about it. You can be out here in the middle of nowhere, or you perceive that you are, and then there'll be a little work party there. You're just getting on with it, and it's great.
Yeah.
You know?
Is that better for Nige now? I think it's because he's behind this little wooden structure. Yeah, I think you're coming through my mic only.
Yeah.
Turn that mic off that I've given you.
It's off.
No, it's not. Turn it off on you there. Yeah, hang on a second. Just bear with us while we have technical issues. Oh yeah, hello. Oh, you got sound on there as well. That's going to definitely repeat. Can you turn speaker off?
What's that?
Is that mic off or speaker off? What have you done there?
Mic off
And speaker off.
No, leave mic on.
Mic's on.
Right. So how's that, Nige? How's that?
Is that better?
And Rob, you commented on that as well. So that should pick you up on there. We've tried using two mics, but where we use them on two devices, it's interfering with each other.
Yeah,
So,
getting reverb.
Mike turned his mic. Sorry, Nige turned his mic off, and hopefully that's better now. Can you let us know as we go along if anyone's having any problems?
Yeah,
So-
that's that, guys. There you go.
Is it echoing now? Now I've turned the other one off. The echo's back. Do we pass the mic to each other? Nige, is that the way out of this?
Probably.
Yeah, I think this is where we go. Turn your mic off again then, and we'll stick to this one. And we'll have to walk more closely together now. Yeah, so that's the old.
That would have been for the stop.
Yeah, so you could close the lock off down there. Very
It's
nice.
so good that that's still here. I mean, if you can build on this, you know, make it more of an historical feature for people to come down to, that would benefit the site even more.
Yeah. I think as it connects to the canal, which we were talking about this on the way down, weren't we? When is the HS2 site going to be finished so this canal can be live and boats on it? And the answer is always about 5 years. I think once that's open, more people are going to come down here.
I believe so too.
Because there's no real access from across there either, is there?
No, the thing about it is as well, I think you've done it as well, Steve. I've certainly approached them, and you get like what I call a dull spoon from from the boat club. They don't want anybody down there. They won't let anybody go down.
I've tried. In my earlier days when I was making videos, I said, look, I'll advertise you on my video for free. Oh no, we don't need members. Yeah, we don't want anybody filming down here, which is fair enough. That's their own prerogative.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
It's hard for us to show you kind of the connection when you can't get to that site. The drone shows it a bit better, which you'll see on some of our videos. Sorry. So yes, I'm going boss side with those two screens.
Sorry about that, guys.
What a handsome pair you've got, at least.
We're just trying to improve the experience for you. Steve's a good-looking one, by the way.
I wish. Right, anyway, after all that flattery.
I'm always doing it. I'm notorious for it.
So as you come out of here anyway, we have the canal again. Oh no, that didn't turn around. There we go. And you can see all along here just how much stuff is growing up in these banks. And you know, a year or so ago, this was all just mud, and this is where this has got layers in. It's capped here, and this stone holds the sort of the matting down that was put in. But you will get, as you see, you'll get a lot of growth into there, and that stuff's like a hydrated clay layer. So it creates the same effect that a canal used to have when you used to have the sort of clay bed in there. And Nige's busy here looking at planting. It's quite good what they do down here, isn't it?
That's one of the other things I love about it. You know, the attention to detail, the ecology side of it all. It just benefits it all so much, and they're always down here restoning and tendering it.
Yeah. The thing is as well, this is new planting at the front. You can see where there's still labels on. This has just been planted. But if you look in that bit there behind, that is last year's planting, and look how many of those have survived. Can you see a single dead plant in any of that? They've got such a great success rate. That one's not got, it's probably just smaller. I can't see inside it. I don't know. Then maybe that one's been lost, but that's the only one I can see. And that's especially when we've had the driest start of the year we've ever. Is it on record? I think it is on record, isn't it? Yeah.
I think it's only the 4th time it's happened in the last 65 years, I believe.
It's so dry. Yeah. It's so ridiculously dry. So that success rate is why people like donating trees to this project, because they know they're going to survive. And Nigel's just showing you some of the labels here, but we've got pear trees, we've got cherry trees, apple trees, the lot. So this, plums over there, this is going to be a wonderful orchard. Now that is really important for biodiversity. You don't just want an area full of trees, you want an area with water, you want areas that are open, you want areas that have food, so trees and bushes and stuff, and you also want nesting areas and stuff. So this area will tick all the boxes to create a fantastic habitat. As this grows up, it's going to be thriving down here. Right, so we're going to walk now, and we're going to see the tunnel that's going to go through under the lane. And then we're going to have a little bit of a detour where you'll have to listen to me and Nige rambling about something. And then we're going up to a place called Darnford Park. Now, Darnford Park is where the canal is going to go through on a double lock. Right. Hopefully the wind's not picking up. Adrian, thank you very much. That's a new member for me. So Adrian, as long as this is the right Adrian, is actually, you would have seen him in videos down here. You would have seen him on some of the WRG, KES, CRG videos as well. He's the best digger driver you'll ever meet. So welcome along, Adrian. Thanks for your support. I remember when they were doing this, it was a bit different to this year. It was very, very wet. And it wasn't Adrian, it was one of the young lads was in here driving like a tracked, I don't know what it's called. It was a tracked vehicle through here, and it was spinning like mad where it was so kind of wet and sticky with all the clay underneath as they were digging it all out. It was quite funny in a way to watch, but probably quite frustrating for him.
And the thing about it is, for me, I didn't take part in any of that. I didn't see the development of it or the construction of it, which I really would have loved to have seen. Obviously, I saw all the publicity for it, which was absolutely wonderful. They had Robbie Cummings down here. They had, people from the Trust, Derek Lord. Actually, I'm only moored about 200 feet away from where Derek lives, right next to the Trent and Mersey Canal, believe it or not. So he's obviously got a vested interest in this project himself, because it's so close to where he lives, and it's so close to where I'm moored. And as my wife will tell you, I've absolutely fell in love with this. It's great, and there's the bits of it are connected back together again. That's the truly remarkable thing about it. We're going to see it come back into life. Whether that's in the next 5 years, that's anybody's guess. But I'm just excited for them and excited for the project.
My guess for the restoration, for the first 3.5 miles, the section we're walking now, is 7 years. And if it wasn't for HS2 and probably the bit we're going to see in a second, I would say that would be more like 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
But they've got some major projects they've got to get over. So that is why they need your support. And that support helps them to, every member that joins the trust gives them more voice. So if you sign up, when they go for funding and stuff, they've got, if they can say 10,000 people are members or whatever, then that looks better than saying we've got 100 members. So they're more likely to get the funding rounds. It shows how important it is to the community for them to be funded. So it's really important to sign up, and it's not expensive. I think, is it 15 quid a year, I think, for this canal?
Yeah, yeah.
It's around that mark, 15 to 20 quid. And you get a magazine called Cut Both Ways, as well as a newsletter, and it's really good.
And you also get that digitally as well. You
Yeah, you
get
do,
a digital
yeah.
copy, and you get a physical copy.
Yeah.
And I appreciate both.
Yeah, I like my physical copies. I know it's
I do.
paper, but
Yeah.
for someone like myself who does a lot of research, it's handy for me to be able to drop back. But if you don't want that paper copy, you can request just a digital one as well, so you don't have to have any footprint on it. This is the end of this section, Nige. They finished this and filled it, and it's obviously good. There's been no leaks or anything on here.
No, it's watertight for sure. And as just before we started the stream, I was talking to Steve about the Nottingham Canal. So I'm from Nottingham, I'm a Nottingham lad. I grew up around it. So as I saw that canal disappear, I'm seeing this reappear, if that makes sense. I was down at Fosse Way. I walked it for the first time probably over a year ago now. And I thought, wow, this is like the trough section of the old Nottingham Canal. And I remember it being in water. It wasn't being used. It was just in water, and it began to breach, and obviously it was drained, and now it's been filled in. And what it's been filled in with, you would absolutely fall off your chair. Back in the 80s, they chucked tarmac in there, debris from roads where they broke
Nottingham
everything
Council,
off.
pretty much every bit they own,
yeah.
they just filled as soon as they possibly could.
And
It's
they threw questionable things in there, like old oil drums and things like that. And they were actually seen doing it. And there's actually a friend of mine that lives in the area was actually showing me some photographs that I think if I mind myself, I'll ask him if I can take some, or if I can have some copies of them so I can put in one of my videos. They chucked absolutely everything in there. It was disgusting.
We're gonna have a little look at that at some point.
Yeah.
I'll have a little walk down the Nottingham. There's a couple of other guys, trekking exploration and stuff, who do a lot in that area, and hopefully we can get some groups of us going up down there and having a bit of a bit like this.
Yeah, I
it'd be quite good.
I think Anthony from Trekking Exploration. Well, I've not actually met in person.
He seems sound.
His channel's incredible.
It's really good, yeah, really good.
I think he's a local lad. I think he was. He's from that
he
area.
Is, yeah,
so,
yeah, he is, yeah. I spoke to him the other day. He's taken a break from his channel, which, to be honest with you, I understand. You get quite a lot of pressure from people doing these videos and stuff.
Yeah.
And being uploading weekly and stuff sometimes takes its toll. So I hope you enjoy your break. But it's going to be great when you come back, and hopefully we can do some bits and pieces with you.
Definitely. He did some aerial shots over the Nottingham Canal in the city centre, and I was actually working down there at the time, and they were absolutely breathtaking. The quality, the standard of his videos.
Yeah.
It's better than any professional legacy channel that you used to watch, you're still watching.
Well, the thing is, you're seeing the stuff you want to see as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
A lot of this professional stuff you see on normal TV channels, should we call it? You kind of just see a snippet. When you've got YouTubers going out and exploring it, taking a lot of time, not getting paid very much. I'll add that we don't get paid much for this. We earn from adverts. So every time you watch an advert, that's how we earn, and it's not a lot of money.
No.
You feel, I would say, the community, the nature, the everything good about the canals really comes home when you've got someone actually like yourself covering it, who lives on the boats and stuff. Who, has got a narrow boat. It's just a different feel to sort of normal TV, isn't it?
I think you're right, and again, it brings people together like we are now. And I think this is just going to grow. And I think what I'd like to see is like a stream where we're all on it, and probably we're all at different locations.
It's not a bad idea, but I'm going to say now, this is our second attempt at this one because we couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
So if we can figure that out, actually that's epic, because you could cover up here. I could be on the Wilson Bucks or the
Yeah.
Cotswolds, probably the Wilson Bucks,
Yeah.
and other people, and just walk along and seeing what we see. That would be a great idea, actually.
Because to my wife's horror, and I know she's probably watching, she'll say, God, he's not going to go over there, is he? And go to Swindon and start doing these videos. But I mean, she knows that I've worked over in places like that, and she knows the logistical nightmare it can be, and the fact that you know the pressure it can put on family. You know.
Oh yeah.
But if we could get something up like that, and it benefits the viewer and gets more people interested,
that's just it. Raising awareness of these projects.
Of course it is. Yeah. That's why I do it. And I've had the odd comment where they say, "Oh, you're doing it for likes, clicks," and really, if I could have done this like 40 years ago, I would have done it with the cine film, the old cine cameras. But it's just like you say, Steve. He's absolutely right. It's just to create awareness, and if they get this section put back in water completely, God, the benefit to the system would be enormous.
I'm going to add to my point, which I've just made. We do not get paid much for this at all. So if you think we're doing this to make a living, it barely covers my costs. So when people like Adrian have become members, that's a massive help to me. If you do super thanks, if you become a Patreon member, anything that you do it really helps. And I'm not just saying that, I'm saying that genuinely, because I can wipe out what I earn in a month by staying in a hotel for 2 nights, which I often do every month. So that doesn't include kit and fuel and me missing days of work, because I'm self-employed. So I miss a day of work, I lose money as well. So
and the thing is as well, the time that you spend away from home, because of your passion, your family have really got to have a tremendous amount of understanding.
Luckily my wife hates me, so it's all right.
And my wife's wondering about me. Where you been? What you been up to? Are you sure that's where you've been?
Talking of family, hey Dad, smashing it. That's from your daughter.
That's from Georgie. Thanks, Georgie. I really appreciate it. She realises and understands that the passion I've got for this. It was a little bit difficult for my daughter at first, because I decided literally to walk through the door, and I said to my wife, I've had enough. I want to get on the boat. I want to do it now. And Georgie was only 15 at the time, so it was a little bit difficult for her. But she embraced it as well. And the thing about it was, I was absolutely useless at steering the boat. My daughter, because she couldn't drive or anything like that, she instantly grabbed it, and she never touched the sides. There's never any canal rash on the boat. Whenever I got on the tiller on the helm, I was like bashing it into things, and I'd always be shouting, Georgie, please help me out, and she, oh Dad, get out the way. No, it's thanks to family really that have helped me along with my absolute passion for these canals, especially this one. I'm still trying to figure out why this one has gotten under my skin the way it has.
Same reason for me. Let's talk about this as we carry on walking. So we're going to be here for about 5 days filming this.
I know.
This is the tunnel in here, which you might be able to see on the camera. So this is going under. In front of us, beyond the fence just behind it, is Darnford Lane, and they need to get under Darnford Lane. As you can see, Nigel's showing you the actual cut now, and they need to kind of dig under that lane. So that tunnel section, and you see that is the way through there. So that's a precast section. This was left over from a section we're going to see in probably about half an hour or so, about halfway up where we're going. No, actually a bit more, about 3/4 of the way up. So that was leftover section. So it's not cost to trust anything other than getting it down here. And that's going to create a tunnel under here on this new cut into the fields on the other side, which we'll show you as we get across to there. But this is all kind of cut out ready, just needs to be profiled and walls built and stuff. Could almost be filled pretty soon if we can get that lane through. I'm not sure what the actual situation is with that at the moment. Hi Janice. Janice is another one of my members. Yeah, I don't know what it is with live streams. Every time I do a live stream, there's a problem. I've been trying to do different apps and try and use different cameras. I've just gone back to my phone with a gimbal on now. And even then, we just couldn't, we had it all set up. We were sat there for about 10-15 minutes trying to press the go live button, and it just wouldn't work. So we had to set up a new stream, and here we are. Right, let's go through the little car park so you can park up down here. trying to figure out how to use my gimbal. First time I've used this, so the canal's going to go under here. That's where those sections are going to go through. So this will be a bridge right here, and the canal will go, hopefully one day, go through the fields on the other side. And you might be able to hear a road now. That's the A38, and that's the first major obstacle that we're going to have after HS2, obviously. So Nige, what were we talking about? We were saying why the Lichfield got under our skin. Now, for me, I had just started making videos. I had a business channel. I'm a plumbing and heating engineer. I had a business channel, and I was putting videos up. When I got a drone, practiced flying a drone, went down the canal where I used to volunteer on. Yeah, sorry, cars. And don't want to get run over. I might get more views actually, seeing me flying over a car, but it might hurt. So I got the drone, I flew down the canal as practice, and I took a couple of shots because I thought if I lose the drone, I can follow the canal back and I won't lose it. And I put those up on my business channel, my plumbing channel, and they got more hits than any of the stuff I'd put up before. So I started making videos, and it was literally just local to me on the Wilkes and Berks Canal. I'm now a ambassador for them as well, like I'm on the Lichfield, and it was just really good. I enjoyed doing it. So, like Nige was saying earlier, you make a couple more. So then I thought I'd do a bit on the Kent and Avon, again local to me, and then the Cotswold Canals was going mad, loads of stuff happening. I thought I need to cover there, and I did a video on the Missing Mile, which is a major project currently being done, and that got loads of hits. That was my first big video. And then I quickly followed up on the Lichfield. Now, why the Lichfield? So far away from where I live, it's a 2.5 hour drive. It's because of their social media channels. And I loved the canal before I even came here, because I saw not just the work, but the passion that was there for this restoration. And you could tell that everybody there just loved what they were doing. And Pete Buck, you've met Pete.
Oh, wow.
What a guy. Love's a strong word, but I love that guy. He's great, isn't he?
He just reminds me of a typical construction manager on a work site. Absolutely, so knowledgeable, so approachable, and it just there's a couple of construction managers that I could name that I've worked with, because I work in rail, that really fire me up and give me enthusiasm. And my wife will tell you, I used to stay back at the end of the day if there was a late concrete pour or something like that. I just used to stay and do it, because it was a passion, and it was helped on by people like Peter Buck because of that attitude that they had and their experience.
It's his enthusiasm and his that goes with it. He doesn't just know what he's talking about. You talk to him and you're in awe of what he's saying. Yeah, he really grabs you, and
because he's done the work.
Yeah,
he hasn't just done like the dirty boot stuff. There's the clean boot stuff as well, and he in many ways, like myself, he can walk in both worlds.
Yeah.
And by doing so, he brings those worlds together. Because it's always us and them, isn't it? As you know yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, what do they know in the office, or what do they know on the ground? You know.
But when you love your job, it shows, and he very much loved it. He's retired now. I can't remember the new guy's name. Sorry if you're watching. I've forgotten your name.
I do apologise.
But yeah, very keen as well. So, but he was always on the videos, and I remember the first time I met him was down here actually. Bumped into him, and it was quite fun. I enjoyed that. Right, so we're crossing the A38 now, and if you look here, this is where hopefully the canal's going to run. So it originally ran kind of down towards where that house was there. I ran across there. The other side of that pylon, there's is it a timber yard down there, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a timber yard down there. It ran across, and it ran under the A38, which wasn't such a big road back then. The new plan is to bring it up much closer to here and go under the A38 into Darnford Park on the other side. Now, that is subject to landowners. That is subject to landowners and permissions and stuff, but hopefully will happen soon. Now getting across the A38, as you can see, is not a quiet road. But it's going to be roughly between these two bridges, and that's not going to be cheap, Nige, is it?
No, no way. No way.
But there's plans in place, and if you look at, funnily enough, the exact same road on the Cotswold canals, there's the there was a, when they built the M5, they knocked out the let me turn you around. When they built the M5, they took the route as a link road for the Cotswold Canal, and it took it across the line of the canal. So when they've gone to restore it, and this is the part of the missing mile I was talking about, they had to make a new route through there, which is all got planning now. They had to get under the A38, same road, just much further down. Now it's not a dual carriageway there, it's a single road, but it's still a busy road and being a link to the junction. So they dug that all out and they built two bridges and put a roundabout across the top. And that's a much more expensive project, I'd say, than this, because it's a huge roundabout. But it is pretty cool, and they've connected up to there as well on one part as well. So they've got a bit more canal there now. Right, so Darnford Park. Another little car park quite close. It's not very far down to Darnford Moors from there. And where's the best way to get down to the lock? Probably down there, is it?
Yeah.
So I want to apologise if I'm a bit wheezy. I'm not only fat, I've had a cold, and then my hay fever's been the worst I've ever had this year. And Adrian is sorry, Chris Bailey. That's the name of the guy heading up now, isn't it?
That's it.
Yeah. So Chris Bailey Construction. There we go. Give a shout out to them. Any company that wants a shout out for helping on this canal. Remember, these people are volunteers as well. Generally, please do say. So I know, pretty sure Adrian's got a family business as well. So please do shout yourself out as well for that. Yeah, so we're walking alongside the A38, which is there. So under here soon, we're going to have a bridge. And that's just down below. Anyway, fat and wheezy. So my hay fever has been the worst I've ever had. And then I just keep getting short of breath. I walked up 3 locks at Pewsham in the week. And it's just like, oh my God. I seem to be coping a bit better today, so I'm obviously getting a bit better. Yeah.
And my enthusiasm for the restoration videos is getting the better of me a little bit. I was working in Chesterfield / Sheffield last weekend. As I've explained, I work on the rail. We're doing ground investigations for potential overhead line equipment that may go in between Wigston and Sheffield in the near future. We're not quite sure when. But as part of existing works and to finish it off a contract for the railway, for Network Rail, we're doing critical works. But I'm getting away from the point. I'd finished my night shift, signed out at Sheffield Station, I beg your pardon, at Chesterfield Station, and then proceeded to go down to the Chesterfield Canal. And then again, my wife, where are you? On one of your walkabouts, and it wasn't until about 10 o'clock in the morning that I got back, and I was absolutely hanging. But I just had to do it. I had to walk down there. It just gets under your skin. It just gets under your skin. And then I thought, you know what? I need to go and have a look at the works commencing, the enabling works for the lift bridge on the Lichfield. So not only did I do the Chesterfield after a night shift, I then went on to do one for the Lichfield, and then put a video on the same day. I couldn't believe what I was doing. And it was one of those what we call flyby videos.
Yeah.
Where you just throw it up on YouTube and it just went whoosh. It just got lots of views very quickly. So I really appreciate it, and I'm very thankful for those that are liking, sharing, and hitting the notification bell for my videos. And thanks to Steve for promoting my channel. I really do appreciate it.
No, thanks for covering it. So it's quite nice when you've got someone local doing these restorations, because I only managed to I'll probably visit Lichfield more than any other, sort of every couple of months. but a lot happens in the Lichfield in those 2 months. So to be able to see the progress by you and by the Trust Zone YouTube channel, which you can subscribe to, and Nige's, please sub to both. It's great because I get to see on the ground, oh, it's worth me going up now because all of this has happened. So follow Nige for a lot more recent stuff. You'll get loads and loads of content from him. Plus, as you can see already, he's got a massive passion for the network and he's getting to other restorations as well. So it's well worth a follow. Now we are close, aren't we? Where's the lock going to be? I feel like we've gone too far.
Might have actually.
So somewhere here is going to be a double lock. I've never come in from that end before. No, here we are. It's here.
Yeah. Because of the vegetation, that's the thing.
Yeah, it's all grown up at the moment. So if we walk down here.
Wow.
What's that?
So it's because of all the vegetation.
Oh, yeah. So there's a little path down in now.
This is where a lot of the materials go when they've been munching the trees down at Gallows Reach.
Yeah, we're referred to those as we go up, actually, because that's a very good point Nigel's just made. Nothing goes to waste. So these things are either turned into log piles or they're chipped and brought down here. Now the trees they cut out for New Lock 24. This is the trees here. Here we go. You can see this is all dug out. This is going to be a double lock. And the tunnel, it will turn sharply, roughly where we are now, go under the A38 kind of there. And this will go up then towards Tamworth Road. And we're going to stay on canal or line all the way now. There's no more big detours like we've just done. But if you don't know what a double lock is basically 2 locks with 3 gates, so they're joined in the middle, so there's no pound in between. Do you find those easier or harder, like double locks and stuff like that?
Oh, ask my wife. Leave a comment in the description down here, in the comment section rather. Yes, I was in a double lock recently, Ashton lock on the Trenton Mersey, and it took my front fender off.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, I caught the sill.
Oh, wow.
They can throw you about a bit when you're in there on your own.
It's quite a height.
When there's another boat in there, that's fine. You're all fast together, but depending on how you manage the lock, it can throw you about. So I just love the single locks. They're so much more easy to manage. And I was on the Chesterfield again recently, and I saw the lock.
They've got triple locks and stuff like that. I think they've got a 5 lock.
Yeah, they have.
As well, yeah. It's
That's
have you been up the Chesterfield? Actually, up the restored sort of side of it.
No, not fully, but I'm not unfamiliar with it. But I plan to. That's what I plan to do.
It's a Trent that comes off as well, isn't it? Yeah. The River Trent is is massive in the canal network. It joins so many canals up together.
That's beautiful.
Janice single locks heart, so she prefers a single lock as well. Go on, let's hear your comments. Those of you who are boaters, what do you prefer?
Yeah. Let's have the boaters' comments, please.
Because I love the look of a double lock. It's very cool. You got like the Cotswold Canals is a really nice one. I think it's Ryford double lock it's called, and that's a really beautiful spot. But the whole area is lush. The Cotswold Canals is a beautiful canal. And I love going past that canal because it's different to the rest of the canal. But I fully appreciate I'm not a boater as much as I want to be. My wife won't let me buy a boat.
Oh!
I nearly bought one and she nearly killed me.
Oh, no. What are you doing?
Yeah, we've got 2 young kids, a 5 and a 6-year-old, so it would actually be a bit difficult at the moment to do that. But, yeah.
But you don't have to be a liveaboard. You could just have.
No, it was only a little 24-foot fiberglass hole, and it would have cost me about 200 quid. But it was literally just the hull.
Oh,
everything else was. I had to rebuild the cabin and everything. It was a complete rebuild. And to be fair, I don't have the time. I don't have the time to do anything with this channel and my business and 2 young kids and a wife. Not necessarily in that order. I'll add that. wife, kids top, obviously. I don't have time to sort of come down and work on a boat as well. So she was right.
Yeah.
This is the new canal line now.
Yeah.
So the locks would have been gone by now, I think, and then into here. And then in front of us, you can see those trees, and that's Tamworth Road just above there. So,
And
that's,
just as a point of interest, it looks like part of what.
yeah, is
not
that the big
necessarily-
pipe?
I'm not sure, but I'm just thinking that that material is left around. There's quite a bit of reverb in there. I'm just thinking that material has probably been left around to be used later on in the project. It was something that I brought up in one of my previous videos, and I was hoping for a comment on it from either the Lichfield themselves or yourself or someone that was a little bit more worldly wise.
Yeah.
As to exactly what's going off down here with that material.
I'll tell you what, anybody involved, Adrian, you might be the best person I've seen in the comments. Is that going to be, so we're talking about like the old, I don't think this is big pipe, but it's the same concrete pipe. There's a load of it over there as well. How's that going to be used down here? Is that going to be used for retaining walls, for nature? You know, what's the plan?
The reason why I asked, when we go to the other side of Tamworth Road, and when you get to Bobby's Bend and you look over to the A38, you'll see a similar material, but it looks like it's been filled with concrete, and obviously it's to support the embankment.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing maybe that might be the case over there.
Yeah. Now, canal trusts are really good at doing this. They save everything, so nothing goes to waste. You've got your paths being built down there with wood chippings. You've got the concrete concrete pipe.
Yeah, that's the bit I like. You know, the sustainability aspect.
Yeah.
Bringing materials forward from other parts of the canal. I mean, the trust have also been donating material as they've been digging out down there at the Narrows.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? They went to some local business for backfilling.
Exactly, because it's good material. It can be reused elsewhere.
Yeah. So we're just coming away from the line slightly now because we need to cross the road and it gets a bit busy up here. So, but again, you can see Nige showing off the reused chippings.
Sorry, is this one of their storage containers?
I'd assume so. I know they're not working down here at the moment, so it could be something to do with the park. I'm not sure. If you've never visited Lichfield, then hang on, I'll go on to that in a second. Single lock's quicker from your wife. Double locks are a lot heavier. Start children young on boats. Yeah, I want to take them on a holiday soon. I was going to do this year, but we've got a wedding in Czechia, so that's kind of gone out the window. But I'd like to take them on. I went on a canal boat holiday with my dad when I was 7, and that was the start of my love affair. So the kids spend a lot of time on boats and on canals, but not actually like liveaboard like Nige does. Yeah. So Adrian said those are going to be used to hold up soil pile next to the A38 road. So exactly what Nige said. Yeah, they'll probably be backfilled with concrete or something, mud or something, and they'll be there as stabilising the embankment. So right, let's jump across here and go across. Now this is the point where we're most likely to die on this video. This is a very busy road. This is Tamworth Road, and the canal would go across just beyond this bus stop here and down through there. So we've got to get across to the sign over there. Right, let's go. It's clear for a second. Just in case, I'll turn you around. So now we're going to enter into open canal. Well, not open, but full canal. Just got to wait to cross. And we're going to a place called Bobby's Bend. What was I talking about before I stopped? I've forgotten now, it'll come back to me. As you can tell, I don't stop talking.
You did it very well, Steve.
And a nice sign over there, look, hang on. Lichfield Canal Heritage Towpath Trail. Oh, this is low as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's low. And it's much lower than it was a week ago.
So going back to this pipe, I did a video which I spoke about, and I just showing them across there, look. This is a prominent feature of the canal in the section we're going to walk today. Now, the reason for that was that when the canal was closed, it was closed in 1955, I believe, off the top of my head, and that pipe was put in to take surface water off of the city of Lichfield, which is just behind us. So as they fill the canal and they reinstate the canal like they have down here, they have to remove that pipe. Now that pipe is still draining Lichfield. It's taking off like highway stuff and all sorts. It brings a lot of water into the canal, and this canal is pretty much just filled by that now. I'm trying to think if there's obstruction anywhere else off the top of my head. I don't think there is, so it is pretty much all filled by surface water, which is why it's low at the moment, because there isn't much surface water coming down. Now, as you can see, up there we've got stop planks blocking off. This is going to go under the road back to where we were with the double lock, kind of behind. Nige will be in the canal right now. And sorry about the background noise here. We've got the A38. Oh, gas mains. Yeah, I've never noticed that before, actually.
I meant to mention this to you the last time I was here.
So, fast while anyone from Lichfield again, Adrian maybe? Is there a gas main in here still that needs to be moved? Is that why you haven't got a bit closer to the bridge, or is that just where it ended, that it was easier? Be interesting to know. So yeah, Bobby's Bend down here. This is really the start of what I call the main restoration of the canal. It's where you've got water and active work parties. Darnford Moors was a major project, but it's completely isolated at the moment. So this is now where we're going to see loads, and this is where up here it's brilliant, isn't it? You're going to see, but you've got the lock happening up ahead, lift bridges, canal being cut at the moment, and it's going to change loads. It's always windy down this bit, isn't it?
No, not always. So here we go, Steve. I'm standing on one now. Look, can you just see?
Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah. I've never seen this before. Well done, Nige. So that is part of the one of those concrete pipes that stood up, and this is holding this up. Because it's important to remember this bit here wasn't originally a canal. So where we're going to Bobby's Bend is the old canal around sort of this section up through there, but the canal would have originally ran across there, timber yard, and around to where we were at Darnford Moors. And I told you over where the pylons were, where it ran around a different route. So this is the end of the diversion down here. And Nige just showing you the basin here now. And I was always under the impression that was going to be a marina, but I don't think it is anymore, is it?
I don't want to really speak much to
what
the intention of it is, but it's definitely not going to be a marina.
We don't know. It's a shame, because it would be an excellent spot for one.
Because Rick the Brick, he was so precise with his work over there to get narrowboats through.
Yeah.
It's not going to be fully realised now as a marina, unfortunately.
It's a shame, isn't it?
Because I would have moored down here.
See, you're losing a customer already, Lichfield. Get it done. If it's what I think it's going to go, it'd be nice to be by the canal, but it's a shame that they can't build it around a marina. But unfortunately, some of these things are out of the hands of the Lichfield Canal Trust. They can only fight so many battles, really. But so this now here, new canal. Sorry, original canal over here. New canal down there. And the big pipe, people always ask this. This is where effectively the big pipe ends. So this was the original route down into a brook. This overflows any water coming through the big pipe and takes it down. And even now, with the water levels low, it's still allowing a certain amount of water, which you might be able to hear trickling down through. And you can actually see the end of the big pipe down there. You've also got, there's a Rick Walters there as well. Can you see that by you, Nige? Yeah, you got it. Well done. So yeah, so Rick the Brick again. 2012 that one, so that was 13 years ago. But yeah, so they're still feeding the stream from that pipe, so they're not losing out by you know, the local sort of streams and watercourses aren't losing out because of the canal is here. It's still feeding down to them. And as time goes on, this canal goes uphill all the way to the rest of the Whirley and Essington. and up to Anglesey Junction. We've got Oakley Junction and stuff there. We've got the Anglesey Branch Canal, sorry, which goes up to Chasewater, where there's a fantastic railway. That's the that's a feeder for much of the canal network around here, is the big reservoir. So that will carry on feeding down through and fill this canal anyway. The surface water coming off of Lichfield is going to be a massive bonus, but at this moment it gives the canal water. In the future, it's just going to run on through. Nigel's giving you a good view of everything down here. So Adrian, yes, the gas will have to be moved sometime. I bet that's not going to be cheap. Gas pipes are never cheap to move. I do gas stuff myself, obviously. I'm a plumbing and heating engineer, I'm gas safe. And yeah, whenever we need even a service moved, when people are having an extension, it costs quite a bit. So I'm looking at bricks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 bricks down, I think, at the moment, the water level. So it is very low. Back again to that dry summer that we've had. Then here, I think it was KESCRG, Kent and East Sussex Restoration Group. It could have been the Waterway Recovery Group, so I can't remember quite who it was. Have recently repaired this towpath. Built the, you can see the shuttering on the side there. It's not called a shuttering on a path, is it? It's just like a board, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it a walk board or something it's called? Yeah. Anyway, so this has been compacted and filled to the towpath had dropped slightly. Right.
This is the sort of material that a narrowboater may appreciate more than the other material that was down here before this.
Much smoother.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Although unfortunately, if the cyclists are coming down and you're moored, sometimes it will throw a stone up and chip the paintwork if you're not careful. There was one boater that I know very well. He was moored on the Trenton Mersey and a stone flicked up from a cyclist. It cracked one of his windows.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A lot of the more modern boats, though, have preventative construction to stop that from happening.
Yeah, so, I mean, the older boats are just a single pane of glass, aren't they? They're not anything major. Right, so now I've got to get these numbers right now. 24, 25. This is 20. Is this 26 or 25? 26, isn't it? I think.
26.
Yeah.
25, 24.
Yeah. So this is lock 26 coming up, and there's no gates on it, but it is restored, as you can see. And then we get into. No, it's not.
Sorry, Steve.
It's not. It's 25. 25. 26, 27, 28.
This lot, then there's the next one, then there'll be 24.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I promise I know this canal. Yeah. I promise I know this canal.
What about that lift bridge? You know, it's not a swing bridge, it's a lift bridge. Oh yeah. So I had to put a correction in one of my bits. And it's thanks to Steve. So don't always get it right. It's just
yeah, of course there is. We're on the wrong side of the house, aren't we? Yeah. So Nigel's right. Yeah. There's a beautiful house being built up here, actually. Oh yeah, I
just things like this.
Yeah.
And there are some stones down there as well at Bobby's Bend. I'm not sure whether I'm not sure whether they're lock stones or whatever. But I think when they were digging this out, there is a video going back to probably about 2018 where they were doing this, and they were digging that out, and they brought those stones out. They put them on the towpath side, and they put benches on top of them.
Oh wow!
They're a bit run down, but the intention's there. Very similar to what they've done down at Darnford Moors.
Yeah. It's always a little sort of touches, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, lots of mooring, Janice. So they've been doing bits and pieces down here. Like I said, on Darnford Moors, there's electric charging points. There's rings all down here. So the idea of a canal really isn't to moor up all along the banks, because most canals are angled sides, and it was actually stronger to have the kind of, so you've got an angle down, and then a flat bottom. That's trapezoid, I think it is. Is that right? Trapezoid for anyway, whatever shape it is stronger than having straight banks. So most canals, and also back in the day when these were industrial use, people didn't stop and moor up every mile or two. They went from wharf to wharf. They just carried on going. It wasn't you weren't mooring, you weren't staying and hanging around. So canals, when they're being restored, are normally kept as they were. So that's that angled bank, and also you can see it now with I think there's a moorhen over there. that angled bank is great for nature getting in and out of the canal as well. So what they do a lot on restoration now is they have areas like this where they've got this big concrete and brick wall through here with loads of mooring in. So there's plenty for when boats are coming down as well. It's protecting nature, history, heritage, and allowing boaters down here as well. Right, so I just want to read this one out. In loving memory of Anthony Thomas, who enjoyed the walk and watching the ongoing progress of the canal, never to be forgotten. Anthony, we're going to show you the progress all the way through now. Hope you're watching from somewhere and enjoying it.
There we go then.
Right.
I think the water levels have dropped considerably. I mean, look what we can see now.
Yeah. So that's the outlet down. Oh no, that's oh yeah, no, that's the spillway. That's, you can see the brickwork behind it. Yeah. So that's the spillway coming down through. Yeah. There's a little launch over there, little ramp.
Courtesy of Rick the Brick.
Yeah. Again, yeah. Rick the Brick is a name that's going to come up all through this video. Nige did a very good video of him recently, so pop to his channel and have a look. Where they sat and
more people should take a look at that.
They really should. Yeah.
It didn't do that great. I was quite stunned. I was expecting it to do big numbers. Not obviously again not for personal
the thing is with a video like that is it will continue to get views, and that's what we want to see. People like Rick, the volunteers, really help out on this canal.
Absolutely.
We want to show them off and on all canals, because this isn't happening without people like Rick, without people like Christine in the background who messages me constantly, and when I ask her silly questions about what's going on, and all that backroom team, the dirty boots teams and all that lot. There's an incredible amount of work that goes into restoring these canals, and we need to applaud these people. And fair play to Nige for putting that video out. So yeah, the Rick the Brick video, please do go and have a little look at that. That was filmed at Eric's Coffee Morning, wasn't it?
It was, and it was filmed down here as well, but it also includes some of the other volunteers that were doing works as well. Works around the big pipe, for example, and the retaining wall. Because obviously, as many of you will know that have been watching Steve's videos, latest video down here, there are only certain permissions at the moment, and we're not able to work beyond the bridge down there at London Road. So yeah.
Oh, Nige, we nearly had that lined up then. Look at that.
Oh, right,
it looks like one picture.
I've done pictures like that before. Oh look, they've put a bit of a ramp up there.
Oh yeah, so I think that bridge has been, no it hasn't. Is that a new base to it?
No, it's just been tidied up.
Yeah, it has, yeah. So there's no access across there at the moment because it's not a working lock, so you don't need to get across the other side there. But there is planting over there actually. There's some trees gone in over there, look.
They've just gone in.
Yeah, so they're the same as below their apple trees and fruit trees.
One of the trust's laydown areas over here, I think it's going because of the development that's going on here.
Oh, okay.
So I think they've got to move a lot of their materials out of there.
Oh, right. So again, not just nature, but I've always wanted to set up a community orchard where you have just a bunch of trees and blackberry bushes and stuff, and people can come down, pick their own food. So like a food bank, but a natural one. And that's effectively what the trust are doing all the way down through. It's food for nature. And if you're down here walking or on a boat, pick some fruit as well. Great idea. So that is, it's not on it now. Some good shots down in the lock, look. So it's all been lovely restored.
It's virtually there, isn't it?
It is, it's just gates. I expect by the time it happens, they might need to patch the odd bit, but it's been largely restored. This is, look at that house. I'm not jealous at all. Can you imagine there looking out onto this? And that's going to be a lot of glass on that house. When we came down in, my wife kept saying to me, they've got no privacy. I was like, do you really want privacy when you've got this view? It's so nice. They have got privacy in the house, obviously, but
I'm just wondering though, Steve, if and when it does get opened up, what are the plans? Will moorers be allowed there, or is that
it's a pound? Owned? Normally you don't moor in a pound, do you?
No, but
so it would just be boats passing through.
Of course.
So there's no rings and stuff. That'd be private. I expect they will have private mooring there.
Occasionally you will get the odd boat between pounds.
If it's just stuck. Yeah. But like I say, that would be private mooring for the owners of the house rather than the public. They've got a duck box down here, and it's nearly always full of ducks down here. There's none down here today.
There were some chicks that had hatched
Yeah.
a couple of months ago, and the heron, which I've not seen down here actually. It's maybe somebody shot the heron.
It was down here when we were here a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was because we were following it along that wall across the back there.
I
Yeah.
think the heron had all the chicks.
Yes. Nature, unfortunately. Oh, what's going on with my camera? There we go. Yeah, Mrs. Nige. It's a shame there won't be a marina down there. It would be a really beautiful place to moor. Yeah, so lock 25, as Nige rightly says. He's very proud of that.
Got one right.
Let me see if I can. Oh, that's not very long at all, is it? Again, restored.
Hey, look at this.
That's Nige spoiled.
Handrail.
Oh yeah, they did this a couple of weeks ago. Some new handrails for safety down through here.
Not plastic, it's steel. It's nice.
Yeah,
On the
that'll
ground, we actually
last.
use plastic now.
That'll
for
last.
electrification.
There's a cool spillway here, isn't there? You seen this, Nige? So over here, this is a bypass of the overflow channel for Glock 25. Comes down from the pound above, down into this. So it overflows around. This will be full of water around this edge. Overflows that edge, and my camera's doing all sorts of funny things. And then goes through the centre there, where it dives down and comes out into the pound where the in front of that house where the duck is, the duck house
They
is.
cleared this of vegetation a couple of weeks ago, so
Yeah.
some of it's laid down.
Oh yeah, yeah. And you can see this actually. This is not just dumped. This is a good nature pile, and they're all through here. So you put all your sticks. It's called you can make what's called a dead hedge out of it. Oh, I've never seen this. This must be what they cleared then, Nige. Yeah, good spot, Nige. Good spot. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's almost like that wall's been built for that tree.
Yeah.
How high is that drop down there? Now you're going to notice me and Nige are both in inappropriate footwear and shiny stuff. So we're going to drop down into the lock now and walk you through old lock 24. I don't think this is too high here, so we can drop in. Who's viewing at the moment, and who have we got who hasn't commented yet? Please do say hi in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Is that walk? Oh, hang on. This would be easier, wouldn't it?
Thank you, Lichfield Canal.
There's some lovely steps.
Wow. I'm on a work site. I'll be on one again tonight.
So this is a pound, obviously, and we're going to start to see the big pipe again, just up ahead. Now it's a bit more special up here. I've just gone around the other way. Blimey, I've never seen water not running through here. Nigel's just showing off the concrete pipes again. Look, what we've got here. Same thing. I don't know if these will be. I assume these are going to stay.
I would have thought so.
I think it's been put here as a nature barrier on the bank. Again, there's a road there and stuff. Because this is wide enough to get several boats for. It's actually a fairly large pound, this, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think that's going to stay. And that'll grow up, be reedy and stuff, and be left for nature. But what you've got through here, it is running, but nowhere near what it has been. This is how dry it's been. There's a plug hole in the bottom of this. I can't see what my camera's doing. There we go. And that is taking the water down underneath here and out through into the pound below.
Now, as we've been down here, this is what really ties it into the BCM. Obviously, it's BCM brick, but just look at this. I just love blue brick.
Yeah, Staffordshire.
I just love it.
These are proper
They
art
are,
bricks.
aren't they?
Now, I've just done a video, if you go onto my other channel called Exploring, and it's a process from quarry to finished product for the locks at Tardybig. The Tardybig lock is being restored now. There was a video last week on that, but I also did on my other channel a video actually just on the brickwork making process as a Ketley bricks, and was a fantastic experience to see. And they are this colour. People think they're dyed, but they're not.
No.
It's all to do with oxygen. So what you do when you're firing a brick, you restrict it with oxygen and it goes blue. And what you get, can we see it anywhere in here? Yeah, maybe you can see the colour difference here.
Yeah.
You get that's had more oxygen than that brick there. So in the kiln, when they were making them originally, there was something called picture framing started to happen, which I can't see here anywhere. But you basically have a dark brick with a lighter frame around, or vice versa. And what that is where there was a bit of oxygen, but not enough to darken the brick fully. So now what they do is to make bricks different strengths and different colours, they inject oxygen into the kiln as they're firing to get the colour they need. But also the clay for these is really, really dense clay, so they are solid. If you put that into water, that brick, it will not soak up any water. If you put a red brick like that in and then weigh it like a week later, it'll be much heavier because it's soaked water up, where the Staffordshire blue is so solid it won't. And that's why they're an engineering brick, and that's why they're used on railways and canals everywhere now.
Absolutely.
Right, now this is a point where my boots have a little hole in. I might start getting a bit wet. But this is old lock 24. And there we go, hang on. Yeah, they're going to get wet. So heritage lock, original lock wall on this side. Another lock wall would have been here, so you'd have been in the lock here. And as you can see on the end there, big pipe is there. Now they can't go up here because they've got to get under a lane. So they've diverted and built this. Rick the Brick and all the other volunteers down here have been busy. And we'll see some more Rick the Brick as we go through here. There's one here somewhere, I think. And they diverted it to the side to keep the channel lower to go under the bridge.
Just like what you were saying in your previous video, you get that in locks, the drag.
Yeah.
You know, when you go through.
Yeah.
When you try to come out of the, say, Branston lock, for example, was it Janice in the chat that was saying that you know that single locks are better? Well, they are, and they're not, because you've really got to lean on it to get out some of the locks.
Yeah.
Branston lock in particular, you feel the suction as you're going out the lock, as you've come up the rise and gone out. You feel the suction as you go through. That will push water back round as the boat goes through and help the boat basically go through with ease, if you like.
So what Nigel's referring to, if you didn't see that video, is if you look up through, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this. You might see daylight up there. No, you can actually, but that is open all the way through. And it allows a circulation of water. When you come down through this narrow section in your boat's as wide as this pretty much. And you like Nigel's saying, you're going to create a drag. And that allows the water to pull in behind you and create a circuit. We'll see the other end of that in a second. Yeah, it's important. People don't realise quite how hard it is sometimes to navigate a boat through some of these bits. What we're walking on now is a temporary bund that was put in to stop the water from leaking into the section, because as you'll see in a second, they've cut out the big pipe, and when the storms came, it washed this all through, and now it's flooded all the way through. But it is good because it's showing that this is holding water. Right, some comments, Nige. Yeah, in lock old lock 24 now, Adrian. Hi, Brian. Sorry, sunlight. Hi, Brian. Ian, I think it's faultless. Yeah, we're here all morning. By the looks of it, sorry, it's afternoon, isn't it? We're an hour and a half in already. No, we're at 78 minutes. We started a bit late. But that's still taking water, but it's actually quite leaky, isn't it?
Have they sort of abandoned the idea of using that?
I think they may have done, to be honest with you.
Not tried to rejoin it. We probably would have put like tarpaulin or silver foil around it, or silver tape around it, bring it together.
Right, this is where my feet are going to get really wet now. This bit's much deeper.
Oh dear.
So there's scaffolding up here now, so they can carry on this wall.
I was a bit concerned about the scaffolding.
Yeah. But they are carried on, and that's concrete up. I wonder, Nige, if am I a bit naughty climbing up on there? Obviously, I'm not doing this live on YouTube. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the camera down so you can see a lovely brickwork being done up here at the moment.
More Rick the Brick up there.
Yeah, there's brick behind us. Can you see one, can you, Mike? it's like I said, he's got things. So actually, we've gone past it. There's an old spillway up behind us here. That ain't happening, is it? Do you reckon you could get up there? I can slip on that. That's it, I got in.
I didn't touch the bottom, Steve.
You did, he pinched it. Right, I'm going to turn this around. Do you want a hand? Let's face me. I couldn't get my foot in that bit there. So as you can see, lots going on here. This is advanced low. So the wall's been built up to, we're above water level now. You can see it's concrete blocks below with a red brick and then a Staffordshire blue on the top. Nige just showing you where the pipe was, and that's the other end to create that circular motion. And then this has all been backfilled. Now someone said on one of my videos they need more rebar, but they don't. This bank is fully supported behind. This is just a brick face and it's all tied in and stuff. It's more than adequate for what they need. But yeah, so this is going to go up to cover this concrete basically. That's all it's doing. It's not supporting, it's just it's aesthetics more than anything. But yeah, lovely bit of water in the canal. That wall's all done on that side. Hang on. Good morning from the USA twice. So Ian and Brian. Great to have you from the States. I need to do some research on American canals. Are you near? Are any of you two near to any of them? I know there's a few up there. There's Ohio and a few others. They've got restoration work going on them. Oh, Nige, you've gone.
No, I've just.
You've paused.
Just paused. Oh. Right down here. There you go.
I might have to do the same in a sec. This was a bad idea. We've run out of scaffold. I'm going to get down here, Nige. There's a yeah. I'm going to get very wet feet now, and I think Nige is as well. How waterproof are they, Nige?
Are you okay?
Yeah. Please don't walk in here. Sorry, please don't walk in here. We're here filming for the restoration. We're suited up and stuff as we should be. It is still a construction site after all. It's not a working construction site at the moment, and that's where the big pipe currently ends right now. Right there, and you can see it coming through there, falls down and goes down then through into the channel behind us. So this is as far as they're going at the moment, because this up here is going to be a compound for the next stage of works that's going on. So they can't dig any of this out. And there's the rest of the big pipe there. Nige is back at the falls. Let me just try and sort my camera out a second. It's gone a bit funny. Lichfield Falls, yeah. I don't know what's going on with my camera, Nige. So I'm using a gimbal, which I don't normally use. And it's got a mind of its own. Just trying to get it back straight now. I think. I don't know, that's. There we go. Coming back. So yeah, Nige's at the end of the big pipe there. You can see it flowing down. It's got a good view of it now. I didn't have a very good view. Yeah, Mrs. Nige. Nige was saying exactly that. Yeah. So some locks are the same on the pull through. So if you're deep in the water, so your draft is basically how deep you sit in the water. So how much of your water is below the water line. So if you've got a deep draft, then you're gonna struggle through narrow locks. All of this over here, hang on, turn you around, is a development going on. It's lock side or canal side, it's called. It's a Persimmon development. And Persimmon are doing loads to support this canal, as we'll see as we go up through. And we're going to see their next project just ahead. Yeah, it's worth getting wet feet for a solid canal, Janice, definitely. Brian, so US, America, no canals near me that I know of. I just became interested in watching the UK canal system. Honestly, didn't know they existed until recently. Love watching the restoration through you and Nigel. Thanks, Brian. So they are, there's a lot going on. There's over 2,000 miles of canal under Canal and River Trust, and there's various other groups as well who are restoring or maintaining or own. Most of the canal restorations themselves are independent groups, and this is important to know because people always say there's not enough money to maintain the network. Why are we restoring canals? And I support the Canal and River Trust. So don't think this is a negative thing to them, because it's not at all. We should all support the Canal and River Trust. You can become a friend, please do, or any other things you want to do. Really, there's loads of ways to support them. At the moment, you'll see on my socials there's a fundraiser for Tidy Big Locks. Please do donate through that link. It looks good for me because people will they can see how many donations come through my channel. And at one point I was over 50%. I don't think I am now, but yeah, it started off really well. So they're more likely to give me access to places if you donate well. So get donating. No, just showing off the signs now. So this is what's happening up ahead of us. So behind me here, let me turn you around and do the thing. This is Cricket's Lane. And that's the junction. Oh, what's going on? And that's the junction there. So there used to be a humpback bridge here because the canal was right up on this height. And people used to come down here. It's quite a straight road, too fast, go over the humpback bridge, take off and land on the junction. And they can't have that anymore. And that's the reason why all this has been dug out, to drop this below so the bridge can go underneath and this can stay as a flat deck. And this is happening later this year, Nige.
It is, yes. And I was actually down here doing a bit of canvassing for the unofficially, and I was handing these out. The big gift.
Oh yes, yeah. And
I was putting them everywhere I could find, you know. And I spent about an hour, and I was just talking to people. I was just talking to people as they're walking down, what it means to them. And I tell you what, the feedback, the positive feedback that he's getting, not they're building more houses, all of this or that, you know. Okay, it's part funding it, but no. I just think that the people of Lichfield have embraced it. I don't know whether that's a Staffordshire thing or because of all the history around here.
When people know about these projects, I think they very much do embrace it.
Yeah.
But the problem is, like where I am on the Wilson Barks, so many people have no idea about the project that's running past their town. And it's becoming a bit more known now. And that's part of what me and Nige are trying to do, is trying to raise awareness. But I think most of the time people do support these things when they can see the benefits that like behind us is going to have.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to support the trusts again, because the more outreach they've got, the more they can support these. And then this bit here in front of us is the next bit that's going to be in water. And this, by the end of next year, this will be in water. And again, by a main road here, it's going to pull a lot more people in because they're going to see it as they go past.
Definitely.
And it's so important.
Yeah.
And Lichfield as a city, if you've ever been into Lichfield, if you've not ever been into Lichfield, go and book a hotel. I tell you what, there's a bed and breakfast on Muckley Corner on Watling Street, which is an old Roman road. It's a perfect spot for exploring around the area. So it's Copper's End, it's called. It's an old police station. I stayed in there last night. Really comfortable rooms. The host is very friendly, and they support the trust as well, which is important. The canal line would have run at the bottom of their garden. There's going to be a slight diversion there now, but please do support them. Stay in the area and go and explore Lichfield, and you won't be disappointed. The cathedral, there's a lot of history here. The people here are amazing. They're so fantastic, so friendly. It's well worth a visit. So yeah, pop down here and have a look for yourself. Right, Canal. This is New Lock 24.
Of course.
And
Here.
we've just had the funding here. So once we've come out of that road, we need to go back up into the next level. And £178,000, I think it was.
Ballpark.
Around that figure somewhere was raised by the Big Give Appeal, which Nige so generously helped out on. He was, like he said, he was canvassing everywhere for. Yeah, so that's going to pay for the majority of this lock. And now we go back into a section that's been here and work's been going on. They've recently got planning permission for, and this is the next 2 years worth of work, including the lock behind me. So Persimmon Homes are building the bridge. They paid for it. Staffordshire County or District Council are actually doing the work. And that's going to happen later this year. The lock behind me is next year. I haven't got the timetable in front of me. I think it's next year. The section in front of us is going to be filled and dug on the second phase, and then we're going to walk up now to phase 1. You've been keeping a good eye on this, Nige?
Yes, I have, and I want to bring my wife down here actually because there's a lovely fish and chip shop down here called Fish Face, and I was here on Thursday, and I was so tempted to go in there and buy some. I know that if I'd have got home, my wife would have gone livid. She'd have gone nuts, but because she'd already made me dinner. But Trish, we've got to come down here for some fish and chips, and I'll take you through the restoration. You'll absolutely love it.
What a date!
Oh, yes,
What a date.
it's a date. It's a date. Of course, it's a date.
So, you know, Fish Face, I came down here yesterday to film an update video, and I wasn't too sure because we were doing this today. I wasn't too sure whether I should film an update video or not, and I thought I booked it a week or so ago before major work started here. And we didn't know where it was going to be. I thought it might still be piling or doing a concrete pour, which haven't got quite to the concrete pour, but they've done the piling. So I arrived yesterday and parked up by Fish Face, fully expecting a fish and chip lunch. And I realised at 9 o'clock yesterday in the morning that I'd come half a week too early. So I ended up exploring the area. And I went to the Wall Roman Village down the road here. I did the Staffordshire Regiment Museum, which was really good. They got some World War I trenches and load of World War II stuff and history of the regiment and stuff, which was quite cool. I went and had a Spudman in Tamworth, explored Tamworth. Yeah, so that's the War Roman site, yeah. And I just showing you there. What else did I say? I did loads of stuff. I had a quite nice explore of the area. Normally I'm up here filming, I'm quite busy when I'm up here, so it was nice to explore.
Well, it's got everything, hasn't it? It's got derelict canals going back into the water. It's got disused railways going back into like cycle track and walking routes.
Yeah.
There's so much history attached to this place, and it's not just here. It's the neighbouring places like Alrowas, Witchner, and the surrounding areas. There's so much history here in Staffordshire. It really is worth.
And Staffordshire Hoard just down there on the canal further down. We won't go that far. That's the biggest ever hoard ever found of Anglo-Saxon, wasn't it? I think it was. Treasures from swords and gold and stuff to so I think there were crowns and everything in there. So this is currently a bit of a staging ground here for the next stage, which is going on. Yeah, so I also went to yesterday. I went to the I've forgotten the name of it now. The Sandfields pumping station, and had a look round. I'm going to do a video there, hopefully with Martin Zero soon. Yeah, we were just in phase 2 then, Adrian. Yeah.
But it's very easy to think that. I think you quite rightly pointed out in one of my shorts, one of my videos, that the pumping station actually supplied the canal. It didn't.
It didn't know. So that was built by John McLean, not John McLean, John McLean. He wasn't Die Hard. He built it. So he had the first ever private railway. He owned it fully himself, which ran from Lichfield to Walsall. I know. And he built along there. In the Black Country, there was a massive cholera outbreak because the water was dirty down there. And it wasn't until 1880s, I think, cholera was found, the cure for cholera, something, maybe 1858, that's in my head for some reason. Anyway, it was much after this sort of period. So he built the pumping station there to take the clean water from Lichfield, which comes from Minster Pool and another pool in the city centre by the cathedral and stuff, and takes the water down to Walsall. But Nige is right and wrong in what he said. It wasn't a pump station for the canal, but they actually took canal water into the bottom, which was used for cooling and stuff. Right. So they did use canal water on it, but it wasn't pumping canal water. It ran right next to it. And there's a trust there who are maintaining and doing that up, and it's really worth a visit. So I'll share over the next coming days. I will share some posts about them. So please do have a look on their website and see if you can support them by donations and stuff as well. Like I said, I'm going to make a video soon with Martin Zero there. We've got a plan for that one, so you will see that soon on my channel anyway.
I think there are limited times for being able to get in there.
Tuesdays and Thursdays,
I just missed them by that.
Yeah, 10 to 12 Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they will give you a tour of the site and show you. And they've got a 20-ton beam in there, cast iron beam, and it's fascinating how they put it in. They built like a structure which they then jacked it up to get it up into place. It was it was pretty cool how they did it back then. Different ones were built different ways because it was obviously a like a mining design.
It was much bigger, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You only got the remnants of the place.
And have you been on the Cromford Canal yet?
Yes.
So have you been to Leeward pumping? Yeah. So I saw that one. I've got a video on that on my channel. Fantastic. And how they built that is they built the pumping station where the beam would be is at the level of the canal. It drops into that valley onto the river. And they just bought. Apparently, think they bought the beam in along the canal and then just shifted it across onto the top. Because it's the right height. It's perfect. Yeah, design. Yeah. So Nige, what's going on here? You're the construction man.
My friend.
Look
at this. So they've got all the cage work all set up, all the steel work. It's all been put together very nicely. I'd like to add. Everything I would expect is here. We're all piled up. We're ready to go in that respect. And down here, we've got the what I call coffins.
Oh, I didn't see those.
They're ready. That's for the formworks, for everything to sit in there, and then the concrete will be poured. Part of my job is to make sure and inspect that it's clean and tidy. There's enough separation between the coffin and the steel work so that it doesn't crumble or it doesn't become compromised in any way. It has to be met with a certain level of assurance to make sure that it's all good. And once they've done that and everybody's happy with the arrangements, the concrete will be poured. There'll be probably a week's curing of that, maybe sooner.
I think it's a bit longer than that.
Yeah,
it's affected by the weather as well.
It could be. I mean, it can be.
They have to have this in towards the end of this month.
July 21st.
There we go. So it is only going to be up to, you're right, probably about a week or so. So if you can't see on here, hopefully you can, you've got some, you can see where those yellow caps are. Below those are piles, so they're driven down to bedrock below, and then the piles are put in there filled with concrete.
They are.
And then those cages go up on top of here with that shuttering around, and it ties it all in together. That's why the rebar's in there, so you can tie the rebar to the cages. And that creates a solid base with all the weight of that bridge being pushed down onto the hard bedrock lower down rather than a soft soil. So when this big lift bridge goes in, which is going to be from this side, and lifts, and all that weight goes there, there's 2, 4, 6 piles there pushing that weight down into bedrock. There's only, I think, 2 on the other side there, but that's not really taking any weight on that side.
I'd say that's a very thorough assessment of the work there that's been done so far. Fantastic.
And then this is a temporary footpath up here, which is going to.
And that's a nice thing as well. I like to see good temporary works.
Yeah.
Good arrangement. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be perfect. That's more than adequate. People have been informed locally. There was a leaflet drop.
Yeah.
The trust have been about doing that. So
Yeah, they're very community engaging
they
on
are.
this canal. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So you know probably more than most people, temporary works can be more than permanent works sometimes.
Yeah.
Just getting all these boxes ticked to do these small
definitely.
jobs sometimes.
100%. It can cost more in some respects.
Yeah.
To set up a temporary works.
It's a Walsh
Walsh
construction. Yeah, doing doing the groundworks on here, so the piling and the concrete, and then it's I can't remember Promac doing the actual lift bridge, which is already built. I think it's all fabricated now. Yeah, so
it would have been nice, Steve. I don't know if you've got access to it. It would have been nice to have actually seen the fabrication process.
Lichfield, if you're watching this.
Yeah,
then,
I would have thought that they would have filmed that as part of the installation, the process.
Yeah. Do you want to do one on top, one on the bottom down here?
Yeah, I can do. I can always jump down on the way down.
So we're going to walk through. I'm in the canal bed. Nigel's on the towpath. And you can see a few things here. One, it's a really nice path. It's fully accessible down here. So with the lift bridge in, it's going to be fully accessible. So no restrictions if you're disabled or anything. The only problem is going to be up ahead. You can't go up and around like you used to be able to. But these piles are here. Like, these were all sponsored by people. Its initials, I think, John Baker, the Rawlings family, Rick and Deb Stretton, and they're all the way through here, different names. So people are paid for these piles, which just helps support the trust. And then we're going to see. Can you see the big pipe yet, Nige? Yeah. Nige, it would just be Nige will sit before me because I'm lower down. So this is a towpath where Nige is, and on the other side here is another footpath, and that creates another nature area here to walk around. And we're kind of right in Lichfield now. We're not far from the city centre. It's development on either side. Actually, that lift bridge has to go in because it's a new footpath through. So it's a new public right of way, which wasn't there originally when the canal was built. So it's a new bridge on this canal. And then your favourite spot.
It is for many reasons. You've just pointed out there's a footpath that side, and then there's a towpath this side. It's great. It's a little hub of excitement. There's so much going on. I mean, you can sit down here. You can walk that side. You can drive in from there. You can appreciate it that side once it's fully realised. There's a set of steps that have been put in down there as well. Once that's fully realised, you'll be able to use the whole section. You could even walk around in a circle if you wanted to. And a little bit further up, it's not a retaining wall, but it's more like a feature, and it's got all little bits of old potteries and bits of glass and just things locally after they've dug out. They've come across like old cups and saucers and things of interest, and they've just placed them affectionately along the brickwork right next to Callow's wall. Take you down there. I'll stay on the towpath.
Okay.
Steve will stay in the canal bed. And I'll tell you what I mean.
You might struggle with sound here. That's the only problem. If you can't hear Nige, please say in the comments. Actually, Nige, we might be far enough for you to turn your mic on. Turn your mic on your phone. It might work. So yeah, big pipe behind me.
Is that better?
Is the end. Let us know in the comments, please. This is Nige, if you can.
Is that better?
And we'll go from here. So a lot of this wall here was done a while back. It's been in here for quite a while now, which supports the towpath. But on this side, it needs to all be done. And there's a mixture of sheet piling and stuff going in, and they've got the big pipe kind of comes in and out of the canal here, so they've got to deal with this as they go. And they're doing a very similar thing up ahead, where they're having in the wall, and I think that's for the same reason, that they're going to have pull through here if they're not careful. But this is one of the active sites at the moment, so this is the current phase, and they want to get this in water by the end of 2026. So trust me when I say that's fast for Canal Trust. Nige, loud and clear. You're good, Nige. You're good. Where Nige is now, look.
Here we are.
He's going to show you.
This is what I was referring to. Just little things like this. And the thing about it is as well is
we're in a town. Somebody's put that in there recently. We're in a town. Well, actually, no, we're in a city. It's the city of Lichfield. And I don't want to put a downer on the stream, but you'd somehow expect this to be tagged by now or vandalized in some way, which would be really sad. And I'm so glad that it hasn't happened, but it's just all nicely in place and it's all still here. Nobody's interfered with it. And it's just little things like this. I mean, they may have been collected and sourced from elsewhere along the restoration, but the fact that they're all here and it's a talking point, I just like it. I just think it just stands out for me. It really does.
There's that one just down by your knees now, Nige. It's pretty cool.
Just there.
And
And then, of
it's
course,
fun.
that one of my favourite ones. That's brilliant. And you've got a bottle here, look. Look at that, look. It's got Lichfield, look. Lichfield Cannock. John Sims Limited. It's just really cool. I mean, just look at that. And it's been left there. That's been there all the time I've been coming down here. It's not been taken. It's not been removed. It's been just been left alone. So cool. I just love this bit. And of course, there's the historical value as well. Just over here, which is the Shell petrol station that used to be an actual gallows.
Yeah, gallows over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why it's called Gallows Wharf, Gallows Reach. So this is a wharf, obviously reaches where we were. And this is the latest work being done, and it's a wall going through, and you can see the big pipe again under here. So that is being built. So similar to the side of the lock, they cut this section out. Once they're concreted in behind, they will create a channel down through there to take the pipe away and around the side, and it will come back in a bit further down the canal. This leads into, so this is the end of the current planning permission, but that doesn't stop the Lichfield Canal Trust and those behind the scenes with the clean boots carrying on further down. Now there's the next section which we're going to walk into now, which is covering the next 2 years after this. So I'm assuming 2026 to 2028 or 27 to 29, however you look at it. And if they can get the planning for that, like I said, it's being worked on, then I think, Nige, is that, oh no, that's looking back and I can't see it on my camera. What section's that showing you now? What section is that showing you now on that picture? The picture you just zoomed in on? Yeah, so that's what Nige just showed you is the next bit, which they're working on now. I'm trying to see. Yeah, it's hard to see on this little camera, but I think that's the bent lock further up. Yeah, but we're going to all of this. Yeah, that's the bent lock. So you can see down here, lots going on. There's concreting going on down here. So what they do is they do each side of this pipe and then they fill the middle bit up. We've got another Rick Walters just in there, which you might not be able to see on the path. So there used to be like a path across here, which linked this around. So you had a big circular walk. Now you're going to have to go up and under and across the lock and back across here to get across, or go up and across the bridge. Unfortunately, there's steps on this side, there's a slope on the other side, so you won't be able to do that full circular walk in a wheelchair, unfortunately. But you can access both sides of it, you can walk back up to it. I've got to figure out how I'm getting out without going all the way back. I'll show you down in the pipe. I doubt there's any water. Maybe I may not, but nice. Do you want to?
So we're talking about the wall. The gentleman involved in the construction of the wall, he travelled some distance to do this,
Yeah.
I believe.
I can't remember where he was from.
Yeah. But I think he features in one of your videos in a photograph. I'm not quite sure who the gentleman is.
Well.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. I'm not sure the gentleman's name, but
not on Facebook and
no.
all the various social media platforms. The Lichfield Canal highlighted him as one of their volunteers. They had volunteers, and everybody had volunteers. this is the mileage. This was all cabin. Steve on how much sound. Is it working now? It might be not disconnected. I just had a connection issue. Everything's sorted now. Let me come up. I think it's under here. I'm not sure.
Maybe you can hear me. But the big pipe interfaces with the Canal channel invariably in 4 places. It's taking on board water from the Lichfield, the city of Lichfield itself, from roofs, gardens, houses. And we're still here, everyone. You've still got a signal.
Hang on, I'm back on Nige's now.
Right.
So yeah, I'm as I was. Seems to be working. So
Maybe better you stay up here.
yeah, yeah, you go down in the bottom. I'll go into.
Yeah.
So I just now. To Nige now because I think I'm off.
Sandwich. Right.
Right.
You've gone.
So you've
Yeah.
probably not heard a thing for a long time. I picked up signal again now, actually. So
So we were just talking about the pinch point here. Here we go. We were just talking about the pinch point here at old lock number 23, and we were talking about this corner here. This tree will have to be relocated on the corner, and there is a wall that's sticking out. But I did ask Steve the question, and I wondered if anybody from the Lichfield Canal or anybody on the stream right now could tell us, has anybody actually done any discussions with the people that own this house here?
yeah, so I don't think the owner wants to do any garden, obviously.
Yeah.
The wall you see on the end there has got to go back slightly. It's been built too long, and the tree has to come out. So there isn't enough room through there to get a boat. Now, if you missed any of the sound, which you probably did, the section there is where the bent lock is. The section there is where the bent lock is, which would have gone across the road here, and that's the old canal line over there. So this is St John's now, and is a redirection of the route. So that lock is bent, and as you come up in the lock as normal. As you come out the end, there's like a big, wider opening, and it comes through. Then you turn your boat inside the lock, and then come out this end here, and then you come into this section here, which is then the St John's development, which is a much larger, much more space. It's been designed to take it through. Nige, do you want to turn your mic off again a second? Thanks.
It is off.
Thanks, Mrs. Nige. So yeah, we're really sorry if you missed some of that. Like I said at the beginning, this is the first time we've attempted anything like this, and we knew that there might be some issues with signal down here. So Nige actually has better signal. Thanks to Nige, we're still going, because if Nige didn't have signal, it would have cut off completely. So although it was muted, at least you still got to see our faces.
This for a winding hole. When you come out of lock 23, you'll come into a winding hole here. It's huge.
So what I'm going to do now, in my bag, I should have got this out beforehand. Now this isn't the map I wanted. I forgot to bring it. I printed a map out and I forgot to bring it. So bear with me. Let me turn the camera around. Oh, we have a map on here. We started to walk over here. That was the road. We took a detour. That's the double lock there. 26, 25, old lock 24, new lock 24, lock 23, the bent lock. And if you can see on there now, you can see the old route went up round there to Sandfields there, look, and came in. So we're walking up to here. So we are here now. So they have got lock 23, which is still in this, and then we're into the pound and the developments. And this here has now been redeveloped here, and this is St John's, and this has been developed here as well. So we're going to walk across there now. So this is, hang on, let me put my map away before it blows away. Michael Merritt, yeah, all good now, thank you. No. The problem is as well, where we lost signal, and I think I set the stream up, we had no comments until I picked signal up again to say we had no sound or my video had gone. I'm not sure how we get around that, but Nigel's walking down in the what would be the bed. So this is all here, it's profiled. I believe it needs to be lined. There's no like clay lining in it at the moment, but you can see up ahead where there's a wall and stuff up there, and the road comes across here. Now that bridge is there, it's underneath, and it's a similar sort of thing as we saw back at Darnford Moors, where you've got the concrete box sections. That's all been put in and then backfilled for when it was a site road and now a road. So all they have to do here is dig out and reline all of this. Well, line it, it was never a canal before. So this is kind of ready to go. And like I said, this is in the next 2 years worth of work being planned. It's being planned at the moment. It's not got planning permission. The teams are working hard to get something from here. Nigel would have very wet feet right now. You can already see down there where he's going with the reeds and stuff, the bulrushes. So there's already kind of like a bit of dampness to that down there. It might be a canal. There might be a bed in there. I don't think there is though. I'm pretty sure there's not. Now this was a big persimmon site, and they were very, very good throughout. Like I said, they built the bridge. We're back on Nige just for a minute because my signal's dropping again. So yeah, bridge up ahead of us here, Nige.
Yeah.
Which is in place. It's there.
Yeah.
It just needs to be dug out again.
Yeah, there was a video again by the Lichfield. I think it was Derek Lord. He was talking about that. Essentially saying that they're more or less halfway there, you know, with this. Fantastic. And again, everybody's on board with it. You've got the local council, you've got Simons who are doing the construction works locally. You've got the people in Lichfield. You've got people like us covering it on YouTube. It's just so much on offer, so beneficial to the project and raising awareness all the time. Quite windy. Are we still good with sound?
Yeah, you're probably echoing now.
Yeah. Will do.
Yeah, you're probably echoing now. I'm back on. Do you want to turn your mic off again, Nige? Yeah, sorry, you briefly lost me again then as well. So yeah, bridge is still here, and then we're into a section now where there needs to be a lock, and that would be here roughly. You can see how much deeper it is over here. Well, they built the bridge because it would have been part of their planning to allow access to the canal, but they didn't have to donate the land. They didn't have to do a lot of the stuff they did. They could have just made it very difficult for the Lichfield Canal, but they didn't. So yeah, it wasn't a. It would have been part of the planning request, but also they were very, very helpful, and they have been throughout. So you need to respect that. You know, Persimmon are doing wonderful things to help on this canal. You can see it's quite a deep cut here, so be careful if you walk down here. There is a fence, so you can walk in it, but I'm not too sure how much of this is actually public land right now. I'm just having a good walk around the other side. So you can see now, as we're coming up the hill, we're going back into like a shallower cut here. So the lock would have finished by about here, I reckon. I don't know how much longer my signal's going to survive. I know when we get up to the signal box up at Fossway Lane and on the bridge there, I lose signal completely because I can never even get sat nav to work when I'm trying to leave that site to go somewhere else. So it might all be on Nige soon. So if you ever see this video when this is open and you're taking a boat up, go with EE, not O2. I'm really, really close to 30,000 subs, guys. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, I only need 300 odd. Please click that subscribe button, whether you're on Nigel's channel. I really appreciate it. And then we've got the same situation here, this space underneath here. Again, box sections all ready to go, just needs to be dug out. And then we are across to the railway. And then back to Nige. So just bringing the map out again for you. Yeah, this is a major obstacle for the trust. So I'm trying to remember if there's a lock in here. There is, isn't there?
Yeah.
All lane.
As I understand it, there is.
17, 16. This isn't showing that railway on there, is it? No, we're here, sorry. I've gone too far across on the map. Yeah, Birmingham. So in front of us here. Okay, I'm not sure. I may have got. No, there can't be a lock in here. There's only one lock here, Nige.
Sure there is.
I thought there was another lock here.
Yeah, I understand it.
There's not. There's definitely not. There's not a lock. I know there's not. The lock's in there. Brings you. There's no deep cut here, and then the tunnel is. If you look at, there's some pictures I posted before on some of my videos, which came from Pete Buck, and it shows the channel through. Hang on. It shows a channel through there, and I can't remember seeing a lock there either. Adrian, answer our question. Is there a lock here? We can't remember. But what you have here is, on this side, you can see the railway line.
Yep.
And there's no tunnel under there at the moment. Let's pop to the other side where there is, and we can show. But this is going to be the end of the current 2 years of being put through for planning and all that lot. This is the end of it here. I'm not sure what happens on the next section, but we discuss the locks and stuff through there as we go through. But this is so the Cotswold Canal, jumping back to them, they did Ocean Railway Bridge, which was done over like a Christmas and New Year, where they had everything there on site ready to go, and they dug the railway out, put the tunnel in, and then filled it back in, and that was a massive job. This is even bigger because of the overhead power lines, and this is quite a busy railway as well, isn't it?
It'll be very, very interesting to find out.
I think they're going to tunnel.
Who they've spoken to at Network Rail for that.
I don't understand when this bridge. Why were we looking at me? Why this bridge was built for the road? Because this is a new bypass. Why the council didn't, whilst it was all closed, build the canal bit as well? I never really understood why they didn't do that. The Lichfield Canal Trust are really good at getting things done before they're needed. If you ever go down the M6 toll, you'll see the aqueduct to nowhere there, which is just there. It's not connected on either side, but it was built because if they didn't build it at the time, it would be too costly to build after. And you would have thought that they would have been able to have got involved in this as well. I know there were some issues at the time with it, which is why they didn't. It wasn't Lichfield's fault on that, but the Canal Trust's fault on that. It's a shame, really. But there's tunnelling. You might see it more with your job. There's machines now which are much better than they used to be.
Yeah.
So there is an option that they could tunnel under here and join onto this other side, which I'll get to in a second.
Go on.
Yeah, so it's gone on this other side. I'll hopefully pick up on mine again in a second. Here is going to be the do you want to tell it? Here is where it's going to come out. And it can come across to the road here. They've actually got the concrete sections in already.
Yeah.
And that's where they had, back at the start of the video, at Darnford Moors, those sections which are going to go in Darnford Lane, the leftover sections here.
Yeah.
So that's where they've saved money. They've been able to reuse them. Should be really nice. You walk through the town centre. There's no boarded up shops.
No.
There's no graffiti everywhere. There's no. You're
in Staffordshire now, lad.
It's nice up here.
It's beautiful Staffordshire.
It's not like Swindon. Yeah. Sorry, just. Oh, Swindon. Swindon is town local to me. I made a video on it a while back, which probably it definitely resonate with people locally. It used to be a lovely town, full of history. You've got all the railway. It was nothing before the railways arrived. There was nothing there. The canal was there. It's still a very small town. And then Brunel built his works there, and the town thrived and it expanded. Now all they seem to do is build houses on the outskirts and not invest in the actual town itself. And the centre is dire. And coming from there to a place like Lichfield, oh, is that?
This is in water. They were pumping water into.
Oh, yeah. So this is a retention pond, isn't it,
Yeah.
for the housing development? So hang on, I'll turn you around as well. So I'm not sure if this is going to feed the canal after or not. There's quite a bit of water in there. I imagine it has got an overflow into the canal channel when the time comes. Mostly they will drain off to somewhere, but that's designed to drain the site down. The new housing estate that is there for that. And unfortunately, they're not full. They go in a various. That one looks like it's always got water in, actually, by the fact there's water in there now.
Yeah.
But a lot of them dry up, don't they, in the summer?
Yes.
Which isn't actually bad because it's good for amphibians and stuff. You know, to have sort of various frog species and stuff in them. They like it when it dries out for breeding and stuff. So it's not so bad as long as there's soil that they can get into. It's wet still. But yeah, I don't know what that is there. Is that sewage pumping maybe over there?
Probably is.
But here is 3 locks going in here. You can see up ahead where it's rising up. Let me show you on my map. Hang on. It's 2. That's as far as we're going to go in a minute, because as you can see, I'm already struggling with signal, and it's kind of the end of the restoration anyway at the moment, isn't it?
As far as the restoration goes, yeah, this is the end of it. Yeah.
So we're about 3 miles now, 3.5 miles by the time we finished. That'll be up to lock 8. Sorry, yeah, you probably heard what Nige was saying there anyway. So, he wouldn't have because he was on mute. Up there is back on track, and that's the old Lichfield to Walsall line, which I spoke about earlier. That's being restored into the Greenway.
Yeah.
Nige loves that.
It's a good and a bad idea because you're getting rid of heritage. You're getting rid of the railway, which is basically everything's heritage, potentially. And for me, it's just after the beaching cuts and with all basically the heart of the railway was ripped out. But it's nice to see that there are some projects that are regenerating certain areas, like Loughborough, for example.
Yeah.
I think you said you were going to be covering that at some point. Essential between Ruddington and Leicester.
I nearly went up there yesterday when my day went a bit bad.
Bit bad.
It really went up. Yeah. Yeah, so that's been a was an embankment for the company embankment in there now.
That's right.
Not enough space. So they're building it's like a concrete viaduct going through.
Yeah, yeah.
Join two heritage railways.
That's right. The bridge, most of the bridges are already in. One bridge was recently restored over the Grand Union Canal. There's one right next to Brush that's been hit by.
It was almost immediately.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah. On both sides, it's been
Yeah.
hit. But now they put these like counter forces in each side that you don't actually strike the bridge. There'll be like a runner rail that the vehicle strike before they strike the bridge. So still not good.
But that's the only dual-tracked heritage railway in the world.
That's right. Yeah,
Um,
yeah. The old Great Central Railway.
so follow Wobbly Runner for that. Give him a sub.
Yeah, Wobbly Runner.
Chesterfield as
Yeah.
well. Canal.
Yeah.
He's done loads on the railway.